I'm not Fabrizio Romano, guys, but here we go. Matteas Cunha to Manchester United, agreed deal between Wolves and Manchester United. I think the biggest part of the deal was agreeing how the release clause would be paid, and the biggest problem for Manchester United, of course, at the moment is cash flow. So it was very important for Manchester United to be able to agree a term that helps them financially and in terms of cash management, and they finally got that deal done. Matteas Cunha is on his way to Manchester for his medical. Personal terms reportedly never a problem, and I'm excited about this signing because I think it's an immediate improvement for things that Manchester United have lacked so badly in their attacking line, in the middle of the pitch, in terms of physicality and athleticism. So let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. Now, talking about what Matteas Cunha has done this season and just how he's developed in his time in the Premier League at Wolves before joining previously from Atletico. 15 goals just this season alone in 33 appearances for Wolves in the league, 17 goals in all competitions and 6 assists in all competitions as well. But the reason why I'm mentioning the goals most importantly is because that's what Manchester United has lacked so badly. I mean, 15 goals in the league, no Manchester United player at all, not in the front line, not in the midfield, and not even Bruno Fernandes was able to get double-digit goals in the Premier League in what was a horrendous campaign for Manchester United. So that's a tick over there for that problem that they have. You look at, Højlund, Garnacho, Xerxes, Rashford. Even Rashford at his time at Manchester United only had 4 league goals in this campaign before he went on loan to Aston Villa, immediately answering the goal threat problem that Manchester United have. And I think it's not just that, it's the goal conversion when it comes to creating chances. We've seen so many times throughout the season Manchester United just creating so many chances, and if you're someone who likes to go off of XG or expected goals in terms of the chances that United are creating, the big chances that they are creating, and their inability to put those into the back of the net, Matteas Cunha can address that problem but can't do it by himself, which is why it's important for Manchester United to go into the window and sign, I think, at least 2 more attacking players. Now, one thing that immediately raises the ceiling for Manchester United is the physicality aspect. One thing that Manchester United, I feel like they've lacked, not just under Ruben Amorim but even under Erik ten Hag. I remember the first game of the season against Wolves last year where I watched people like Cunha, Matheus Nunes, etc. just dart through Manchester United's midfield comfortably with the ball, strong, physical, athletic, and no one's able to get the ball off them. I've seen Joel Linton do it as well, and I've seen many other players do it as well against Manchester United, and that is another threat that Cunha will provide for Manchester United. I know some people are wondering if the fee is worth it for a team that is struggling financially, or maybe, don't have the investment funds that are available every single window, maybe in comparison to other teams. But that is one thing that he addresses, and is one thing that United lacks. I can imagine Matteas Cunha playing in one of the 2-10 roles where you don't need to be a creative 10. If anything, if you can create chances for yourself and most importantly convert those chances, you will immediately improve what Manchester United lack. Manchester United lack so many different attributes in the team, let's be honest. So anything that they can get in the summer transfer window will be an improvement on that. Now, I've seen people talking about, Cunha's temperament. I think Manchester United need that. Not a hothead, but they need someone that plays with aggression, plays with, sheer dominance on the ball, and maybe putting their heart on the line and playing with their heart on their sleeve. Matteas Cunha, he offers that. Manchester United's midfield, or even their attacking options, they get flung off the ball way too often. They don't win duels. There's been so many times this season I've watched Rasmus Højlund wrestling with players unable to win duels. I've seen Joshua Xerxes even losing duels. I've seen even Garnacho losing duels. Bruno Fernandes, even Marcus Rashford when he was at Manchester United losing duels. Amad Diallo at times losing duels as well. But this is one thing that Matteas Cunha will offer: athleticism, strength, power, getting forward, driving with the ball, being able to dribble comfortably, and offering that threat of physicality in the midfield. Because let's be honest, the reason why I think Man United did very well in Europa League in comparison to Premier League is your bread and butter, you know, playing there every single week. When teams identify what your weakness is, and it's a big weakness, such as that athleticism and the physicality that you have in the middle of the pitch, teams can exploit that. And I think pretty much every team found a way to exploit that. I remember Arne Slot talking about, you know, how he realised that, you know, they could contend for the league in his first couple of games was after that Manchester United 3-0 victory at Old Trafford. And, you know, after that particular game, he sat there on Sky Sports and, you know, identified all the weaknesses in Manchester United, and that being one of them was that, you know, they're unable to retain possession in the middle. They're unable to do anything with it, driving the ball forward, win aerial duels, win even ground duels. They didn't have anyone that was able to drive the ball forward comfortably and get the ball forward to a threatening position. And even if it's not Matteas Cunha that's able to do that, someone can find Matteas Cunha in the final third and he can be able to provide that. You know, he's able to come off the left, not necessarily playing as a wide player, but occupying those half spaces where the 10 would normally operate. And when Man United are playing with wing backs, with Patrick Dorgu on his left, or whoever's playing as the left wing back, who we've seen holds the width, then in those half spaces in the 10 behind the striker, or even in line with the striker, Matteas Cunha will be able to occupy those spaces, which we've seen him be able to do. And like I said, the fact that he has more goals than Rashford, Garnacho, Højlund combined, the fact that he has nearly as many goals or one less goal than Man United's two top goal scorers in the Premier League combined, that's already a question answered for Manchester United. Now, 62 million in terms of the release clause. The biggest part was to pay it over a certain number of years. Manchester United wanted to pay it over 5 years, but reportedly they've agreed now to pay it over 3 years. Personal terms were never an issue. But for me, this is just the first puzzle, or the first piece of a puzzle that's really broken, that needs to be put together. And that's why I think Mbeumo has to be that next target. You know, Manchester United are looking down that avenue of signing players from Premier League teams, Premier League proven teams, players, number one. Number two, also signing players that are not necessarily fitted for a specific system but can play across multiple different systems. And that's where Vavell and Wilcox kind of come in, because they are in charge of that recruitment and putting together a squad that's capable of not only contending under Ruben Amorim, or even being not even contenders, but just sufficiently playing in the Premier League, not just under Ruben Amorim, but over potentially other managers to come and other systems to come. That's the most important thing now. And Mbeumo for me is a no-brainer. 50 million from Brentford. If that is reportedly the fee that Brentford are looking for, Man United should be all over it. I think other teams will be in the race. I think Newcastle is a direct place that he can go to. And Amad Diallo at Manchester United, if Man United do go down the course of signing Mbeumo and Cunha, I think Amad's future could be at right wing back. And having Mbeumo and Cunha, two players that had 35 goals combined in the Premier League, that's already a big question answered. Now, for me, it's not only that, it's about how they package that front line. And the most important thing in that front line, equally, as well as the two players in the 10, is that striker. So is Man United going to sign Delap? Are they going to head down the path of maybe Mateta, maybe even going back in for Victor Gyökeres? There's so many question marks over that part, but it's nice to know that one position has been addressed so far. There's still many other questions to answer in this transfer window, but this is the starting point. This is really the starting point. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys excited? Matteas Cunha is expected to take the number 10 shirt, and that says a lot about Marcus Rashford's future, because Marcus Rashford is the number 10 wearer, and it sounds like Manchester United are happy to give Cunha that 10 and will strip Rashford off that number, which I think kind of shows that there's no future at Manchester United for Marcus Rashford. But Ruben Amorim has his second signing under his tenure, a Portuguese man in Matteas Cunha, strong, physical, athletic, great ball striking ability, can link up well, can drive the ball forward, has great work rate. I know, contrary to popular belief, he does have a good work rate, and I think it addresses issues that Manchester United have struggled with. But let me know your thoughts down below. Are you lot excited? I would say let's not get too excited until we see how the summer transfer window pans out, because Man United need to address multiple different points. But it's good to see that they're starting off strong with a signing like Matteas Cunha.